want to see Crawford Spence. What would it take to make it happen?
Al has to sit down and we'll do it in 10 minutes. We want it. We got to fight Khan. We got to beat Khan. But right after that, we'd love to do Spence next.
Speaking of April 20th, coming up quickly too. A month,
right.
Less than a month away. What can we expect? I tell everybody, Bob, it's a 50-50 fight. Khan has speed, experience, a nice resume.
Well, he's gonna make trouble for Crawford because he boxes so well. But listen, Crawford, is with Lomachenko the best pound for pound. So to say it's a 50-50 fight is a little bit of a stretch.
I'm excited.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Boxing Facts Over Fiction. I need you guys to do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon for more videos like this. Terence Crawford versus Amir is not too long away, man. It's April 20th. That fight is getting closer, you know. I'm looking forward to that fight. It's a pay-per-view fight, ESPN pay-per-view. That's a great fight, guys. That's a much better fight than Errol Spence Jr. versus Mikey Garcia. The only reason people were so high on Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr. is the fact that people never watched Errol Spence Jr. like that. They didn't know nothing about Errol Spence Jr. like that. A lot of these fans that was picking Mikey Garcia to win, they were Mikey Garcia, just Mikey Garcia fanboys. They never paid attention to guys like Errol Spence Jr. But that was a great reason Errol Spence Jr. took that fight with Mikey Garcia, because that fight's going to raise Errol Spence Jr. profile, which it did. But now we have a great fight in Terence Crawford versus Amir Khan. A lot of people are like, who did Crawford beat? Crawford just knocked out a guy in Jeff Horn who arguably beat Manny Pacquiao. So Crawford beat the guy that beat the guy. You know? A lot of people can say, oh, Manny Pacquiao got robbed. Then why didn't Manny Pacquiao go get his title back from Terence Crawford? Why don't Manny Pacquiao go get his belt back from Terence Crawford? Manny Pacquiao don't want that Terence Crawford smoke. But for some reason, you fanboys can't give Terence Crawford his credit, man. A lot of these people that are hating on Terence Crawford are Errol Spence Jr. Fanboys. Not just Errol Spence Jr. fanboys, but Manny Pacquiao fanboys as well. Man, you guys just hate on the wrong people. Just give every fighter their respect, man. Give every fighter their props. The guy beat the guy that beat the guy. Now, he's the small guy. He was a small guy fighting David Benavidez. You're going to say, oh, David Benavidez had one leg. The guy was undefeated. What do you mean he had one leg? The guy was throwing punches hard, moving around. The guy wasn't fighting with his legs. This isn't kickboxing, this is boxing. All he needed was his hands. He didn't need his legs to win the fight. All he needed was his hands. David Benavidez did not need his legs to win the fight. Crawford went into that fight, knocked out David Benavidez, the much bigger guy. If you stand next to David Benavidez and Terence Crawford, or if you're looking at Terence Crawford and David Benavidez standing next to each other, you'll be like, man, this guy is a giant standing next to Bud Crawford. And what Crawford do? Knocked him out. Terence Crawford didn't get any credit from knocking out David Benavidez. Like Canelo got credit from knocking out a guy like Amir Khan. Canelo got a whole lot of credit from knocking out Amir Khan. Crawford better get some credit from knocking out Amir Khan if Canelo's gonna get some credit. Amir Khan went up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez. Amir Khan is the bigger guy in this situation going into Crawford. Amir Khan is the bigger fighter going into Terence Crawford fight. So he should be the one pressing the issue. He's the bigger fighter. He's the bigger man. Amir Khan is like 5'10". Crawford is 5'8". Amir Khan has a 2-inch height advantage on Terence Crawford. He's the bigger man. He's fighting a small guy who's moving up to his 3rd weight division. Only has 2 fights at welterweight. Crawford only has 2 fights at welterweight. Amir Khan's been fighting at welterweight for a very long time now. He's taller. He's rangier. He's fighting a small guy. Amir Khan needs to go in there and try to bully the small guy in Terence Crawford. Something David Benavidez should have did. Something Jeff Horn should have did. But instead, Jeff Horn got bullied and David Benavidez got outclassed and stopped. Guys like to disrespect Amir Khan and say, oh, Amir Khan doesn't have good chin. Amir Khan is this. Amir Khan only been stopped 3 times, guys. He has 4 losses, but he's only been stopped 3 times. He got stopped early on in his career by a guy named Breeders Prescott. Then he got stopped by Danny Garcia. And then he got stopped by Canelo Alvarez. The Canelo Alvarez fight was a complete mismatch. And we seen Amir Khan get floored by a guy like Samuel Vargas. But he didn't stop him. You could say Amir Khan had a glass jaw. But he's only been stopped 3 times. He only has 4 losses. You understand what I'm saying? The guy only has 4 losses in his career. And one of his losses was to a guy like Lamont Peterson. A split decision loss to Lamont Peterson. So, Amir Khan only has 4 losses. 3 of those losses by knockout. His latest knockout was to Canelo Alvarez. Everybody expected that to happen. He moved up 2 weight classes. So a lot of you fanboys are already saying Amir Khan's gonna beat Terence Crawford. No, Amir Khan has a shot to beat Terence Crawford. That don't mean he'll beat Terence Crawford. He has a lot of things in his favor. He has the size advantage. He has the reach. He's been at welterweight longer. He has a lot of stuff in his favor to beat Terence Crawford. He may have the speed as well. So with all that factors that Amir Khan has, the size, the speed, he should have a very good chance of beating Terence Bud Crawford. This is why this is going to be a very good pay-per-view fight. But is it a 50-50 fight in my opinion? Absolutely not. Bob Arum doesn't think so. Bob Arum said, if you think it's a 50-50 fight, that's kind of a reach. The reason why it's not a 50-50 fight, even though Amir Khan is the much bigger fighter, is the fact that this guy right here, Terence Bud Crawford, is the real deal. The first guy that knocked out Amir Khan, Terence Crawford, stepped up in competition and defeated that guy, Breeders Prescott, for a unanimous decision. His first step up, and he won every single round against Breeders Prescott. Terence Crawford has done a lot of things in the sport of boxing. That's why he's considered pound for pound #1 or #2 in the sport of boxing right now, because of what he has accomplished in the sport. It's not about who he has beat, it's about what he has accomplished. Even though the people he has beaten, you may not know about them. Well, a lot of these casual fanboys may not know about them. But he's beating these guys in impressive fashion. He's beating these guys when they were undefeated. He's beating these guys when they were champions. Terence Crawford has beaten a lot of guys that you guys may say, oh, they're not really a big name, but they were champions. He's beaten 2 gold medalists. Terence Crawford has beaten 2 gold medalists. How many fighters can you name at the top of your head that beaten 2 gold medalists? A lot of you guys can't name one. He's unified an entire division. How many guys in boxing do you know that unify an entire division? Except for Alexander Usyk, because he was in the tournament. So it was pretty much a given for him to... Guys, Terence Crawford versus Amir Khan is going to be an exciting fight. It's not a 50-50 fight. It's not a 50-50 fight because Terence Crawford is just that much better. Size does play an advantage, but they're fighting in the same weight class. So in this case, size won't really matter because Crawford has already adjusted to welterweight. And Crawford is just a guy that figured out his opponent. Terence Crawford is just a guy that figures out his opponents. He's gonna have some great timing for Amir Khan's speed. He's gonna slow Amir Khan down. He's just gonna have a game plan that is gonna offset Amir Khan. I see the fight being competitive in the first couple of rounds. I see Amir Khan winning a few rounds, unlike Mikey Garcia, who couldn't even win one round. This fight would be a lot competitive, unlike Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr., where we didn't get our money worth. We pretty much just wasted our money because it was such a convincing win that the entire boxing world was like, what the fuck? Why was it so one-sided? I mean, it was such a one-sided fight that you could have changed the channel if you weren't a boxing fan and you didn't know what was going on. You would have said, why is this big guy just bullying this little guy in this ring? That's how one-sided it was. You would have said, this isn't a fair fight. But because you are boxing fans and you paid your hard-earned money, so you stuck there, you had to endure, you had to watch that manslaughter. But that's what you get, man. That's what you get. That's what you fans wanted to see, and that's what you got. A one-sided beatdown. But Terence Crawford versus Amir Khan is going to be a different story. It's going to be a very exciting fight. I see these guys winning back and forth rounds. Terence Crawford probably win the first round. Amir Khan go back out there, win the second round. Amir Khan is a naturally bigger welterweight, guys. So even if Amir Khan is winning rounds, you can't say Terence Crawford got exposed, because Crawford is the small guy moving up to welterweight. Terence Crawford is the small guy moving up to welterweight. He's only had 2 fights at welterweight. So how can you say it's a mismatch if Amir Khan is the bigger guy? It makes no sense. You fanboys just find a way to criticize somebody. It's disgusting for boxing, man. A majority of you fans are freaking MMA fans. You guys need to stick to MMA and stop running your mouth in the comment section saying, oh, this is a mismatch. How is this a mismatch? Crawford is the smaller guy. He's fighting a bigger guy in Amir Khan, who's been at welterweight longer than him. When Amir Khan got knocked out recently, it was by Canelo Alvarez. He's been in a lot of fights since the Danny Garcia and Breedis Prescott fight. He hasn't got knocked out with all those top competition he was fighting. You seen what Amir Khan did to Marcos Maidana? Amir Khan should have only had 2 knockout defeats on his resume if he would have never jumped up and waited to fight Canelo. But Amir Khan jumped up and waited to fight Canelo because Amir Khan was chasing the bag. But Amir Khan versus Terence Crawford is not a 50-50 fight based on the fact that Crawford has too much skills, too much intangible that Amir Khan won't be able to figure out. In the later rounds, Terence Crawford will take over. And I see Crawford stopping Amir Khan. But it's going to be a very, very entertaining fight. But yeah, guys, do me a favor, hit that